One. Hello. I can't even hear you guys. That was just me.
Oh,
Did they come
no.
through at all? Hello. Can't do it.
Hello.
Nope, just you.
It's just me.
Yep. Well,
Come
we were
on.
trying new things, and that's what we get for trying new things.
Nick was like, it would really cheer me up if you came on the stream and sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm like, yeah, that's an impression I can nail 100 times out of 100. And then I was the only one. Didn't even do it right. Hey, welcome to Songs of Creation, starting only half an hour late tonight, which is pretty good for us, all things considered. Listen, just to let you know, we're going to change our stream schedule. We usually go Thursdays and Saturdays. It's Thursday's Songs, Saturday's Artima, but we're doing something different, and I don't know what that is. What are we doing?
Next week we're doing something.
Next week? Not.
Yeah. Next week will be a little different. We're going to figure it out, make sure we finalize it. I think it sounds most likely like songs might shift to Wednesday for just next week, and then we will probably be back on schedule.
Fun.
So.
And then we will be playing Artima 2 nights from now, Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern. And I can't wait to get back into that, you guys. We have not played Artima in so long. It's been like a month.
No.
Cannot wait. Thank you all for being here. Hi, regular family. We love you guys. Listen, if you haven't already, smash that heart button, give us a follow, get notified when we go live. My OBS is all screwy. We're not playing Cobaltica tonight. If you got that notification, no, we're not. I'm bad at technology and everything's broken tonight. Fun. Something Instagram on memes. I don't know. Just go to matesoffaith.com. It's all there. What else we have? Mike, we're good?
Yeah, we also have a Twitter, which is pretty cool. Not.
It's
and
neato.
what else we got? So you hear some sick tunes.
Fat
in your ear
beats, if
right
you will.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, fat beats dropping.
Is this
dropping
you?
The hot mixtape.
Is this you? Is this one of your recordings?
Yes.
Sultry.
I go by the name of Syrinscape.
Oh.
So what you hear is courtesy of Syrinscape. Give them a check out if you need music or ambient sound effects for your games. I plug them every single game, so I'm pretty sure everybody watching right now probably knows about Syrinscape. So let's move on. There we go. We don't have many other. We'll have announcements about upcoming one-shots and charity streams coming up soon. Some more announcements about credit cross-stream things we'll be doing as well.
You want to cross the
Not
streams?
Tonight. We're going to cross the streams with some other streams. But that's down the road. So, all right, Matt, anything you want to talk about?
Mostly I want to thank everyone who helped us not just meet, but exceed our goal for our charity on the Cobaltica One Shot. I just cannot find a way to fathom just how generous you guys are.
Our community is amazing.
Really, the love is there, the generosity, the just camaraderie and everything, and we just love you guys so much.
We really do.
Able to help make that big of a difference, it's just I can't comprehend it. So yeah, we ended up raising $520
by the end of it.
$520. Oh my god.
And also note, we haven't had a charity stream where we haven't had to raise our charity limit multiple times.
Yeah, like we set a goal and we're like, we should aim for this, and then we end up like blowing it out of the water. Something almost like even before we got to that night.
That's because our community is awesome.
So yeah, you guys. All
also,
right.
Thank you so much for coming out to watch Cobaltica, because if you follow me on socials or if you're in our Discord, like that meant a lot to me. I was working on Cobaltica for a really long time, so it really meant a ton to me that I was looking at our views. Not only did people come out, but like they came out and they stayed out for the most part. Like we had high viewership the whole time. I learned a lot. I had a blast. That was one of the most fun games I've ever played. Now I'm going to rework it because the whole thing's based on surprises. If you haven't seen Cobaltica, you can get the VOD on our Twitch or on our YouTube. You can go back and rewatch the whole thing. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the whole thing is full of mysteries and surprises. And I want to play it again. I really liked running that game, and I want to run it for different people. So I'm going to try and rework it. Mike and Matt are giving me some feedback so I can fill it with new mysteries. So if you want to watch Cobaltica the next time, it won't be the same game completely. It'll have some new surprises and have some new special guests next time. It'll be good. But thank you guys again for coming out.
We'll see if we can glue that, facial apparatus thing on my beard. See how that goes. Prosthetic cyber fiber optic beard. Yeah.
Fiber optic beard would be pretty cool.
Actually, would be pretty good.
Whoa, yeah, that'd be crazy.
Shaving, maybe not. But all right, all right. Y'all ready for some D&D?
Let's play D&D.
Ready.
All right. So when last we left our adventurers, last session was just straight up combat, and more combat. You
I almost
guys,
died.
yeah. Having been sent into the future from the use of the keystone by the devil, whose name you didn't catch, you ended up briefly banishing her, and then seeing a dragon coming out, and then being attacked by Thrasymachus Fistane, in his dragon form. It seemed that it had been a long time since he'd last seen anyone, since he had flown outside of the range of the keystone. When that happened, well, he had a lot to think about for a very long time, so he just let that kind of ferment a little bit, just let it pickle.
That was
And
the thing.
yeah, came back a little upset.
That was the thing that happened.
Yeah. And then to reassure him that everything's okay, you brought the devil back from being banished, and then came some reckless combat from his part of like just breathing acid everywhere across the battlefield.
What a hilarious misunderstanding.
Oh, and then one of you decided to take his kill
I didn't.
that he'd been looking forward to for aeons, and just. Ooh,
Okay,
wow.
first of all, I fucking said I was sorry. Okay. And also, I think he
And-
retaliated in kind because he spooshed my ass into the ground.
So, in the end, kind of exhausted and overwhelmed, with a devil killed and Thrasymachus collapsing, transforming back into a sleeping owl in Evionda's arms, you guys now find yourselves, Spinecrusher having fallen twice in the middle of that combat. So you find yourselves in the curious predicament of not knowing when you are, not knowing what's happened, what the consequences of everything that transpired is, if that was always meant to be, or what's happened. At any rate, you are currently outside of the collapsed Temple of Time with a keystone that the devil woman had attacked, causing it to have a notable hairline crack in it.
Also, like, Draxa being dumb enough to be like, oh, don't worry, we'll just use my future keystone, and then being surprised Pikachu that it's also broken. That was not role playing. I was like, what do you mean my future version of this item's also broken? I was so sad. Things are bad. Things are not good.
So, you are currently standing in the jungle in the Burning Isles, just north of the Temple of Time, just north, it's a league north of Split Shell Cove, at least best estimate where it is, based on how far you walked, how big the temple was. It's a good distance away from Split Shell Cove, but I'd say, given your bearings and everything, and maybe one of the mountains you can see just barely over the treetops through the clearing, well, the clearing that's left now from Thrasymachus leaning on a tree, you can make out that at least one of the mountains looks like it's still the same mountain that you saw before, so geologically not too active there. At any rate, you're able to see that, so you have a landmark that gives you a sense of the direction towards the coast, from where you came in.
So quick recap of your recap. 1, we don't know when we are.
No idea.
We do have a sense of where we are, but
Yeah.
not when.
Right.
3, who is still with us from within this temple, or what is Vasinicus still with us? I forget.
Thrasymachus sang the Song of the Dragon Soul, which transformed him permanently into a dragon. Now, given that dragons are magical beings, he's able to transform himself into a form close to his own choosing, or his soul, or as you would. So he appears sometimes in the form of an owl, such as, for example, the one that you saw in the caves back in the present. So you know that Thrasymachus, as an owl, was trying to guide you, that he seemed to recognize you in that form at least. At this point, he's asleep in the arms of Ebianda, one of Thrasimachus's assistants. Thrasymachus's assistant. Say that 5 times fast. All right. Assistant.
Fourth, fifth oath.
Yeah,
But
not happening.
So he turned himself into a dragon permanently, but he's no longer a dragon now.
So in other words, he cannot. So what's that?
Dragons can shapeshift, right?
They can shapeshift. However, it's sort of in the same sense as like I don't know, trying to put on an air or to try and hold yourself with an unusual posture or something. It's uncomfortable and you're not going to be able to maintain it for very long.
I don't know. I think it's a good deal, but I'm still gonna learn the song.
There's catches to it, right? So the Song of the Dragon Soul means that you are severing your soul from the wheel, right? So from the cycle of death and reincarnation. I mean, you are only ever you have one life left, and that is your existence as a dragon until you are killed. Once you are killed, you cease to be entirely.
So I couldn't see
So
Brunin
that's the
again.
cost. What's that?
So I could never see Brunin again.
Right. You would, in other words, he's foregone his chance at an afterlife in order to protect the songs, to protect the keystone.
It's a bit show-offy, if you ask me, but all right.
It was a desperate last option available to him. But at any rate, yes, a bit showy. So, well, you guys are currently hurting in pain.
Yes.
Ebianda, the assistant to Thrasymachus, is cradling him in her arms. Ebianda, she. What you remember of her? She's a fair woman with 2 broad scars across her nose and face. Kind of, brown, earthy sort of colored hair. Kind of not quite mousy, but sort of definitely. At least when you first met her, your first impression was that she seemed easily agitated, but it could just be that you woke her up in the middle of the night.
We were kind of breaking and entering, so.
Yeah.
So. I'm not sure how long he's going to be like this. He's not going to be very happy when he wakes up still, I think.
Adrax is still lying flat on the ground, possibly a couple ribs broken, because this owl that was a dragon a moment ago just pummeled the shit out of her. So she tries to roll over on her side. She spits out a couple of teeth. And she looks to you, Zara, and just goes, You prepared Revivify today, right? You were prepared for this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Definitely. Don't worry. I'm always prepared. Look at all these diamonds. We're fine.
Thank the gods. Thank the gods we have you, Zara, to protect us if the worst should happen. Because that was a close one. That was bad.
Meanwhile, Spine Crusher's just like huddled on the ground in the fetal position, just like breathing heavily.
Drax tries to
Okay.
crawl over to
Eyes
you,
closed.
but can't.
Oh my god, alright. I've got like no magic left, but I can use what's left of my magic to heal us.
Oh, if we could trouble you, I mean, if you're not busy preparing Revivify, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm a great cleric, guys.
We know it.
Alright.
We value you.
Alright, second levels for now, since I fucking have them. And do 2 cure wounds, 1 on each of you. So I'm gonna roll. The first one for Adraxa is 15 healing, so not a lot.
That
and
helps.
the second
That helps.
for Spine Crusher is 13 healing.
I reach out, like hold onto your hand as I
Yep.
feel the surge of.
It's not a lot.
It's a little, but it helps. How much was it? 13.
13, yeah.
13. All
I just
right.
played nothing for you guys.
No, it's
Fine, Crusher, you're wearing armor that prevents magic from. No, I'm not going to do it.
Oh god.
But I've been thinking of it.
Can you even imagine if we tried Revivify with that armor on? We wouldn't have thought of it. Holy shit.
I do want to say also that
You're a
from last
Batman.
session, I think I've been playing like, got to figure out about my shield because I do have a shield and I've had this shield equipped technically since I created Spine Crusher, but I haven't been playing to. Yeah,
You have a decorative shield. That's right. That's it.
Yeah, well, that
but
decorative
it
shield
helps
is
with my
increasing your
AC.
AC, yeah.
So I will just from now on just try to remember. It's because it requires role playing into like, you know what I mean.
What's his
Yeah.
name? Achilles, right? Where he just like throws the shield on his back and it catches arrows while he's running.
Yeah.
It helps in moments.
Yep.
All right. So y'all healed up, satisfied with
You
your.
could say healed.
Early, yeah.
Yeah. Good as one of my tusks is looks like his little crack. Good as new. Like a
Stop
young
with the
cadet
tea.
all over again.
All right.
Use my last high level spell to give you guys more healing. But that sounds.
No, you're
But
saving that. You're saving
Yeah,
it for Revivify, correct? In case the worst should happen today.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, Sarah, can you fix the keystone? You can fix this, right? You know what to do. You understand this, right? I don't understand this.
Have I ever cast Legend Lore on the Keystone? Wait, that would be using a high level spell. Hold on, no. Me.
We know that it is a goddess, and that
We
we've been
do know
throwing her on the ground for years.
You on the ground. I've never thrown her on the ground.
I mean, Brunin threw her on the ground more than I ever did. I did it maybe the once.
And to answer your question, no, you have not.
He wants us to.
Well, it's fine. It's up to you.
We need to get to safety. Did that demon have more behind her?
Yeah, right. What do we do with? Do we kill her?
What you recall is Spine Crusher. You recall seeing the ones that were behind in pursuit, killed in the collapsed tunnel behind you.
The other people from the temple, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
you feel confident that you are no longer being pursued at this point by any by the Zafrit's minions or anyone else.
I was one of the last ones out. Nobody else made it out alive.
Okay, so we have no reason to think there was a threat at the moment, right? And I kick the one demon's corpse with my boot and roll her over. Check her pockets.
You kick the burnt ashes and sludge
Great.
that remain.
Does anything magical remain in her sludgy, ashy pockets? Brand new sentence?
Smell.
Sludgy, ashy pockets.
All right.
The smell. Unfortunately, no. There's no.
Gross.
Nothing.
Gross.
No message. No coin. Even. Nothing to signify what that was about.
I go to Ebianda with our broken keystone and hold it up next to her broken keystone, and I say, "So this might not sound weird to you, but it was weird to me. My sister came looking older and different out of a portal several weeks ago holding this, but it was wrapped up somehow, like it had been damaged, and I guess that was this.
What?
But she had it working. Do you know what she could have done to get it?
The most I could think of is if you found a mage capable of understanding it.
Is that not you?
I was an apprentice songkeeper. I know enough about the songs, but caring after a goddess whose vessel has been damaged, this is something beyond me.
When do you think we are?
Well, we were as far back as we could reliably go, so I think we probably went forward.
Isn't that what I said?
So, how old did that dragon look to you guys?
How old did it look to us?
Ancient.
Ancient.
So maybe we're close to our time? Maybe?
Maybe.
So is the point that we went so far back that we looped back around?
I don't know if time works like that.
Wait, what?
Maybe it does, but I doubt it. I don't know that even the Keystone can loop back, can go that far.
Would explain the TVA jackets.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we might not be too far from where we started then. That might be a good thing. If he's ancient, and we went back an ancient amount of time, then that... Maybe we just go back to... Maybe we're home. Maybe we did it. Maybe we're home right now.
It'd be fortuitous, yes. Maybe if you... I mean, I'm not sure what the margin of error would be. You might have gone too far forward. Maybe your friends are in the past relative to now.
That I can't... No, we stuck around and listened to all those stories because he
Okay.
said, like, you can go back to any time. You won't be late. You can go back and save the kid from making a deal with the demon.
But we didn't expect all of that to happen, did we?
No,
We didn't think that...
I'm not blaming you. I'm just kind of emotional.
Your emotion. Love of my life is dead.
I'm sorry, which one was that?
You only have the one that... There still.
I'm so sorry. I would offer you a hug, but my ribs are broken.
Fine. Not the hugging type. If you want to get back to your time, your friends so badly, find out when we are, and then find someone, a mage, who knows how to fix this. You'd have to be damned good.
Man, I had an airship. Shit.
A what?
I had an airship. I was a fucking sky pirate. We were sailing in the...
ships. No, ships go in the ocean. What are you talking
I
about?
know, but in the future they go in the sky. And I had one, and now I'm stuck here. With my broken magic rock goddess and no airship and my bunch of broken ribs. Damn it!
How does it get up? How does it fly up from the water?
I don't know.
I don't think it ever goes in the water.
But then why call it a ship? Why not like a mechanical bird or something? I don't understand.
It is not a bird. It has no wings. It has sails like a ship. It is
Okay. Is she full of shit? Tell me right now. If she's lying.
inside
Yes.
check.
Actually real.
It's like, all right. Hold on. 11.
Well, let me roll persuasion. I don't even know what that was. My dice disappeared. 15.
That's just a red circle. That's weird.
Look how trustworthy I am. I'm so trustworthy.
Things that can fly without wings.
Yes. Are you coming
What
with us, or
other
are you
convenience
staying with the
there
owl?
are? I'll be here. If I need, I can try to find you, but take this. She offers you, she pulls a beaded bracelet and hands it to you.
Thank you. What is this?
If you wear this, I'll be able to find you and come back to you.
Sammy, how come we don't have one of these? What's it connected to?
She gestures broadly.
Just, can we get 3 more? This is great.
I'm afraid not.
I had a skyship.
We might still have a skyship. We don't know yet.
Well, if you know what it's like in your time, maybe try to head back and find civilization.
Back to the pirate isle, I guess. At least
think
there's
we're still-
magic. Magic still works, right? That's something.
Yeah.
Worked on me.
Right.
So not too far forward then.
Not too far. All right. Fare thee well. Sorry for your loss.
She turns and you see her tears starting to well up, and she just kind of takes a few steps, keeping her composure, just falls to her knees in the sand and grass.
We need a bard. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not good at emotions either.
You continue through the jungle, the sun at this point in the day is beating down. Yet it's not terribly. It's not quite so hot as you recall it being before. It's actually feels like strangely much milder weather, although it's definitely on the hotter side, but it's, it feels like maybe like a Florida winter or something, right? Like, so it's maybe 60s. So it's definitely colder, but not by any stretch cold.
So we didn't land in the right season. We might still be in the right year.
Cool air feels nice.
Sure.
Coming from the hot weather and I don't know what time we were.
How long
Feels
of a...
good on my wounds.
Yeah, wounds.
We were only off by like 6 months.
Maybe. How long of a hike was this? But this was only like a half-day hike back to, like, where we came from, right? Where we left the kid?
It wasn't terribly long. So, for the sake of brevity, we'll say that you begin tracking east back towards the coastline, rather than heading deeper into the jungle. And soon enough, you find the beach. From there, you surmise that it's to get back towards Hargrave would be a probably 2-hour walk north.
All right.
Stealth checks for me, please.
Okay.
Fuck.
Fuck. Now
Got a
one.
nat.
So no, it's fun. It's fine.
It's been a
17.
long day.
It's been a long day.
Spine Crusher, the one in heavy armor, is actually the quietest, as he's not clanking. He's walking along the beach.
Yeah.
I'm
weak, so I'm walking gingerly. I'm taking
Yeah.
soft steps.
I'm complaining the whole time. This heart's
Yep.
so... I think I punctured a lung this time. Oh, God. My feet
We're all
hurt.
hurting, Adrexa.
Ugh.
Perhaps it's that is the reason why you don't notice the the ship that is anchored like just off to the right a bit. You don't even notice it as you're just kind of like just walking eyes ahead, engaging conversation. But I don't know. You also don't notice the people who are kind of like looking at you curiously as they're loading a bunch of boxes and crates towards a tent there on the island. Just up ahead at a clearing. Some of them look. You're not supposed to be here.
No shit.
Are you part of the wedding?
Yes.
Yes.
Deception checks.
Do I have
9.
anything I can use to make this better?
I am the officiant.
13.
Okay. First off, with a 9, he's like, but then with a 13, he looks at you and he's like, that Fergandali accent, you're probably on the groom side. Okay. Come on, we could use some help. Grab a box, let's go.
I've been walking all day. Do you have anything I could eat that'll give me a little energy?
Yeah, we're unpacking the food. Come on.
Okay.
can
I
help
pick
with
up one of the boxes and I
He
As
kind
I'm-
of like he pops it open, and then like reaches in, grabs a kind of like a one of those delicious, not quite a baguette, but like sort of like a
croissant.
a croissant.
Yeah, a croissant. Yeah, it's got like a nice like cinnamon and pistachio.
Here we go again.
This is
God
good.
damn it, Matt.
Oh yeah, you got me started. You said hungry, and then I went for it. Don't you ever?
Every time.
Um,
Every time this game turns into fucking Narnia with the food.
are we gonna get another like button like Isabel's animal facts? And
Yeah.
Like studio gift food where you're like, why does it look so good?
Yeah.
figure it out. I'll work on it and then figure out a recipe for the Discord.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, we have a Discord. If you want, go ahead and check it out. And
Please do.
yeah. Anyways, he tosses it over to you. You catch it, and oh my god, it's just like they made that home in the open air markets. Oh, I mean, obviously it's not fresh out the oven, but you can see it. It's something that like was made within the last day or so, so it's still good and fresh, and the bits of honey that help to preserve it and keep it perfect. Those little flaky layers,
God damn it, Matt.
perfection.
It's damn good. I'll carry all the boxes you want. Come on, Adraxazera, let's...
I think I sprained my
Uh,
wrist. Can you carry mine for me?
Your fingers are still sticky with the honey as you try to wipe it on your armor.
Oh, wait. Hey, what year is it?
Or what do you are you kidding? Well, this is
I was drinking. I was carousing all night with the wedding party. Come on, humor me. What year is it?
Don't worry, you didn't drink away the millennium. The party will be starting soon.
Oh my God, a million years.
No, what?
Nothing. Okay. Sorry, Mike.
Look for those
Oh,
little,
good.
like,
And no.
like the catalog things you get.
The what?
Those, say, at weddings. Did they not get those out?
Oh, the oh god, what are those called?
I don't know what they're called.
Programs.
They have like
The
yeah,
programs.
the
Yes. Oh
program.
yeah.
Program. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Zero and I will look for programs or catalogs, whichever we can find.
Okay. Yeah. So you help them carry a box in and everything.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. Spinecrusher carries them all for her.
Oh, that's nice.
Every
Okay,
game
so
we play, you carry my shit for me.
Yeah.
Spinecrusher carrying boxes back and forth. You two make an investigation check.
All right.
Zara and Adraxa, I assume.
Oh, hey, did I frenzy in that last fight? I did, didn't I?
You did.
I'm exhausted.
You are.
I am.
You didn't bother to take a long rest, so yeah, you guys are
I
all.
didn't bother to.
We
It was
did.
only half case swap. Oh, that was actually advantage. Three.
5.
Great.
Okay.
We're
You look around and are unable to find any kind of program. It seems like they're still very much setting up. You're not even sure the wedding is tonight or not. Is this even a wedding? This is weird. What the hell kind of a wedding is this?
I'll take a wedding over, a pirate ambush, I guess.
Yep.
As Spinecrusher lugs some of these crates aboard the ship, can you give me a sense of what the ship looks like and what I see on the inside? Can I glean anything?
Sure. What you see looks to be a ship. It looks to be a newer ship in terms of its condition, but in terms of the design, well, make a history check.
No thanks. 2.
Dude, we could
I
just
refuse to
roll.
look.
You're looking around trying to make sense of it, and he says, "Hey, help me out with this one." Oh yeah, you pick up another box, and you don't have time to notice the ship. Y'all need some sleep, man. All right. So, yep. Yeah, it's a boat. You live in you're in a time when they have boats. Boats have been invented.
Yeah.
That's one clue.
This is a nice boat. Where are you hailing from?
Yeah, we're from Eagershill. At least the Tawnies are. So what? Oh yeah, you're not there.
Oh, yeah, I'm not there.
Yeah, no, it's it's look, the Tawnies want to marry the daughter off to a Fergandali. I mean, it's unusual for sure, but I mean, it's not the first time I've been to a cross borders wedding like this. And yeah, Burning Isles is a nice halfway point for it to happen. Destination weddings, am I right?
Cross border, huh?
Yeah. So to speak. In other words, like Vlahelgians and people out of Kanya, or I haven't been to a Thontillian wedding. Oh my god, could you imagine? Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Let's sit it down right here. Sit it down. All right.
all right, having a bit of a crazy time believing the controversy behind this wedding, huh?
No, not that so much as well. You ask me. I think Donnie's looking to get whatever, kind of. He's got more than enough weddings he has to pay for, so he's just happy to marry off his daughters where he can.
Yeah, that Tawny character.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, what are you gonna do? He's got what, like 9 of them? Yeah. Plus the
Yeah.
son.
And this is the youngest, right?
The youngest is 11.
Well, things are different in different cultures. I mean, I'm just
What the hell?
I don't endorse it. I know some cultures they marry them off young or something. I don't know. I thought the youngest was 18 is what I meant.
No. No, there's.
Nobody
Alright.
clip that, please.
Yep. Jesus Christ, Mike.
I'm trying to glean who's getting married.
No. All right, so let me think. So he's got the youngest. That's Anissa. She's 11. She's around here somewhere. Shiloh thing. Then there's the quadruplets.
Jesus.
2 of them are identical. I can't tell them, one from the other. God. Then you got Beatrice and Bolvea. Bolvea. Oh my God, what a woman. Anyways, Bolvea, I swear she's like trying her best to be just like her big sis. Then you've got Firo. Then you've got Bevigda. And then after that, there's Cure, the boy. So, yeah, he's got his hands full. Tell you, man, you see that Tawny clan, they are. Yeah, you hear them a mile away. God. Every single one of them, you see that bright ginger hair, you'll spot them a mile away.
Well, anyhow, I'll go grab some more crates, and I walk back outside, and I look for Adraxa and Zara to try to tell them what I just heard.
What did you learn? Tell me everything verbatim.
I tell you everything that I just learned. So it's a wedding between Flohelg and
Intelligence
Con.
check. Intelligence check.
No,
You
don't-
get their names right.
Don't have my lore behind his intelligence. That's not fair to me.
Yeah. Let me
No.
actually try to recount what I learned.
Okay, yeah.
It's it's a wedding, which you already knew, right?
Right.
But it's between Flohelg and Conyer.
Okay.
Somebody named Tawny. Did I get it all?
Yeah, nailed it. That all makes perfect sense. Although I don't understand why Flohelg and Conyer would be having a wedding on the Burning Isles because they're on the opposite side of an ocean and then a continent.
Well, they said something about being somewhere in between.
They're like right next to each other, but they went like all around. Over here.
Sure.
That's like,
Did I get it totally wrong?
That's like someone from Connecticut and someone from Jersey getting married in Hawaii.
I take it back.
Which
Can
happens,
you
but-
have him
The
roll
older-
an intelligence
You
check
keep
actually?
rolling stuff.
Can you have
I
him
rolled
roll?
a. Take it back. I rolled a. Where is it? I rolled a 15.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'd say you remember that there were quadruplets. Holy shit, that's crazy. It sounds like the guy's got a bunch of daughters and like one son.
What were their names? I wouldn't ask what their names are. God damn it.
Tawny. Yeah. You just know it sounds like it's the Tawny clan or something, and that they got red hair.
Very well. Let's see how we can be of service to these people, and perhaps they will give us board so we can sleep and heal all our broken bones overnight.
I swear they said something about Flohelg and Conyer, though.
I believe you, Spine Crusher. It's been a long day. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm tired. Let me get this box.
We're all tired. Everybody's tired. All right, I'll grab a very light-looking box and follow whoever needs help into wherever they're going.
Yeah, I'll grab something that's like not heavy, but it's awkward.
Yeah. You find what looks to be like an arbor, like one of those
Oh, cool.
like kind of like it's awkward and it's got like thorns and stuff, and all the people are like, I'm not grabbing that. Why can't you even pack part of like a garden display?
Rude.
Stupid. We're in the middle of the jungle. So yeah. You carry it out. All right. Yeah. You're helping out and everything, and at some point, a rather snooty-looking halfling comes up. Excuse me.
Yes.
What do you think you're doing?
Helping?
Are you on the guest list?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Oh, it's right here. Let me write it down for you. I act like I'm stretching, but I'm just reaching for my axe.
What the? Whoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. This whole thing, I'm just...
Excuse me. I don't know where on earth there's Irish help these days, but I think we have enough covered.
Intimidating presence.
Okay. What's the thing about that?
That is something. I haven't used that in a while. I haven't been mean in a while. They have to make a wisdom saving throw. Or they have...
And while it,
Dirty 20.
I'm too tired. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm just like stretching.
While Adrax is like distracting him kind of, I try to get a good view of like a trio of names on the list and give him those names.
Okay. Yeah, you find you find a few names. You find Gravendor Haraset, Vixola of Stormhammers, and you also find sorry, there's one more. Madame Dister. Oh no, that was with the other one. Sorry. You also find Sandra Salona.
I am Grandor. The first one you said.
Gravendor Haraset.
Gravendor Harrison.
Haraset.
Okay.
I'm Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago.
What the fuck?
Yes, exactly that moment.
Nailed it.
All right. Yeah. Gravendor Haraset.
The one and only.
The ambassador from Higurashil.
Yes. That would be me.
The famous Tabaxi ambassador from Higurashil.
Yes, there was a wizard and he cast a spell on me and I don't look like myself anymore.
Stop right there. You owe this person nothing. It's not your fault, okay? What happened to you is not your fault. And you owe no person. I know you miss your tail. It's not your fault.
It's embarrassing.
Deception check. Straight roll.
What do you mean straight roll?
That would be with advantage, but you have exhaustion. Adraxa.
Great.
Oh, Adraxa does.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was advantage. Well,
or I would say, or you know what? Or I'll give it to Mike. He's the one making the deception check. So.
Sure.
Straight roll.
Yeah, straight roll. It's just.
I've never wanted to win the deception roll. Well, not win. I've never wanted to. Come on. Curses dice. Fuck. So that would be a 6.
Can't convince him you're not that this Goliath isn't a tabaxi.
It's okay. I have an image for the Discord because at that exact point in time, you hear. Sorry, this is stupid.
Oh gosh.
You hear a voice. Where is the songs discussion chat? There it is. Pasting this in the Discord. You hear a voice. Did someone say my name? As a very well-groomed tabaxi.
He's so fancy.
A very well-groomed tabaxi kind of approaches and everything. I have to say, I was not expecting, that anyone else would share my name. I mean, it's not exactly common.
My parents always admired you. They wanted their son to be like you, so they named me after you.
Quite. Well, to tell the truth, I think we're perfectly fine here. I'd like to get to meet introduce myself to someone else whose parents have such great taste. Come, let us break into the cask.
I like him.
Gladly.
Just a minute. This is not going to stand. They are not. I'm not going to have crashers at the. I've got that. Oh, I'm not going to say I'm going to vouch for them, but I'll see whether or not they are really crashers and if they need to be dealt with, or if they are worth vouching for. In the meantime, don't you have some other things to do? Hey, where do you want this put? Why are you? You're holding that upside down. Hold on.
He's a squirrelish guy, isn't he?
Ooh.
So, soon enough, you see. Sorry, a lot of NPCs for this session. So, Gravendor Harriset.
At a wedding?
Yeah. Gravendor Harriset leads you to. Do we need to take a quick 5? Or?
Nope.
Okay. Okay.
Gravendor Harriset leads you towards one of the cooler parts of the tent where it's nice and shady, and there is a series of barrels all propped up on tripods and different arrangements and everything. And it looks like right now there's a pair of gnomes who are currently just trying to hammer together some wooden boards into a makeshift bar. One of them is just sawing desperately, trying to cut a piece of wood that was maybe a little bit too long into size. So it's they're like, I think that's gonna hold. And then they're like, I think so too. One of them kind of like sets his hammer on the edge, and you just see the entire thing just tilt.
That's not gonna hold a lot of drinks there.
And then Harriset says, yes, but if they drink enough, then it'll look level to them.
As long as it doesn't spill level to them.
Fair enough. Why don't you try to fix it again? All right. If you put the counterweight on the other side, maybe it'll help. It's hard to level it out on sand. You'll figure it out. Don't worry. Meantime, we're going to get some casks. Pops it open, and then starts pouring into a spigot. Or into a flagon. Grabs another. It seems I'm out of flagons. One moment. Waves his hand in the air, conjuring out of nowhere another one. This one is clear, almost like glass, but spectral. Sort of a purple tinge, like the lines, or wherever the glass looks to be etched, or the facets of it. It looks like there's just purple lines streaking like glowing arcs, catching in the sun. And there's another.
That's some very nice conjuring.
Well, you learn a few party tricks in the Higurashi colleges. So, especially the glass art. Oh, good times in that one.
The glass
Are you here for the bride or groom?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yep.
Neither then. Interesting.
I'm sorry, man. It's been a long day.
I can see you look like shit.
Yeah, we got our asses handed to us by a dragon this morning. Yeah.
A dragon.
Yeah. Is this
He's
for
not
anybody?
lying.
Can anybody drink these? Is this for anybody?
They're yours. He's handing them to you. So, yeah.
Well, my friend, my name is Idrax of Stormhammers.
Are you of any relation to Vixola?
That depends. What clan is she of?
Vixola of Stormhammers.
Yes.
She's part of, I guess, like Flohelg sent one of their delegations here as well.
Cool. Oh God.
Huh.
Oh God. Yeah, probably. I mean, she's probably like my. Yeah, probably. You know, the Stormhammers clan is very, very big. So, is
Yeah,
she
of course.
here? Is she here?
If she's not here right now, she might be due to arrive. At least according to the guest list that Hagrit was looking at.
Cool. Well, that'd be nice to see another Stormhammer. It's been a bit.
Yes, you do seem a little far from Flohelg.
That I am.
So, and You, Bergendali.
Yes.
You here representing the Knights of Krustak or no?
You could say that. It's, yeah, I'm here for the Knights of Krustak.
I must say, one other thing, I've not seen a tiefling since my ventures to Waterdeep. It's,
Yeah, there aren't many of us around.
no, not in these parts, certainly. But, I will say, I've always found them to be charming.
We are known for being charismatic.
Oh, you haven't met Zera.
Kind of looks quizzically like, was that just like a left-handed compliment? Or,
This is
well, I'm going to, I think I'm going to tell Hargreet that you seem on the level to me. I'm usually a pretty good judge of people.
we appreciate that. We don't intend to cause any trouble.
Good. Because I certainly would like to not have to deal with trouble.
Well, we wouldn't want to tangle with your party tricks, eh?
You know this, everyone always is afraid of the claws. That's not the thing that can really do the most damage if you study well. At any rate, I think the sharpest knife is the one that never needs to be drawn, yes?
I'm gonna puzzle about that one for a while. I can't- never needs
Good
it.
day.
You would never draw it? Then
If
how would
you,
you know it was sharp?
So, yeah, you need me, I'll be retiring in the guest chambers off in the woods.
What was your name, friend?
Gravendor Harriset.
Gravinder Harriset. Well met, Harriset.
His tail kind of like does like a little swish, and he does this similar kind of flourish as he bows. It's
From one Gravendor to another.
Greatness recognizes greatness. He kind of adjusts his ascot and walks off into the woods.
He looks like such a good boy. I love him.
Yeah.
If you're not in our Discord, you should see what a good kid he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you who aren't going into our Discord, he looks more or less like a tiger, but wearing this red, maroon velvet jacket with tan lapels, very striking, and a scarlet ascot that just, yeah.
He looks like he's about to find his fortune in the Frosted Flakes industry.
Yes. Yes, you can say that our revenue forecast is great. All right.
We summer with the chocolates.
So, perception check, please.
The genius is wasted.
Every single 5.
17.
9.
Okay, with 17, Sarah, you feel like you're seeing double for a second as you look off towards the woods and everything. You see 2 redheaded girls looking towards each other and all that, and very similar dresses, similar hair, and it just throws you off completely to see them. I'll paste these in the chat as well.
I'm sorry. We summer with the chocolates is like the funniest thing I've ever said. You guys just don't appreciate me at all.
What'd you say?
We summer with the chocolates.
I didn't hear that.
Is that we? Okay.
No,
We
that's good.
summer
That's
with the
good. Sorry, I didn't-
chocolates. I know it's not funny to bring up your own joke 2 minutes later, but I was really proud of it.
Yes. Oh, God.
Sorry.
Yes, the chocolates haven't been seen since that excursion to Barovia.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, so you see two twins kind of walking back and forth. No, I don't know. I don't care what that says. Yeah, but we should probably. You think there's going to be dancing? I don't care. There's going to be dancing. I don't know. Well, I think you care. Like the other one just punches her in the arm. Ow! Stop it. Hi. Hi.
Well met.
Hello.
Well met. Yes, very well met. She said well met. Oh my god.
Are you two in the
The
wedding?
hell does that mean?
Why is he so angry? I don't know.
Is one of you
It's
getting
very
married tomorrow?
We're 13.
So you're old
Guys
enough
are-
to enlist. Are you getting married tomorrow or what?
Oh my god. Oh, she's from Flowheld. Oh. And then
All right.
it's that's a cute what is that? Like a breastplate?
This is armor.
Mm. In the tropics.
Did you just fight a dragon today?
Did you just fight a dragon today?
Oh,
Oh my
Jesus.
god, they're the
Oh
worst.
my god.
Twins are the worst. Where are your parents?
Who's asking?
Never mind.
Where are your parents?
They're in Floelg.
Mm. Oh my god. It's just
Rude.
I know. Oh my god. They just whisper.
Did she just say something about? Did they say something about me?
Oh my god.
Probably their kids.
Angry.
Suddenly, like, mess with my braid. Like, are they talking about me?
At this, you hear a voice coming from behind you. Just yells, "Sienna, Kathleen, shut the hell up!" And then they just kind of look like, "What are you gonna do about it?" "I'm gonna kick your ass," is what I'm gonna do about it. Don't you have, I don't know, some seashells to pick or something stupid? Get the hell out of here.
Ha!
You
Oh,
see,
nerds!
kind of like helping like sitting down one of the crates, one of the only ones actually helping out with the crew that's carrying all this work, doing work. You see another one, same unmistakable red hair, maybe a couple years older, but not much. I think more of a tomboy.
Does she have those facial tattoos?
Yeah. So she says, "Sorry about them, Beatrix."
You're Beatrix or they're Beatrix?
I am. That's Thesina and Caffeine. Just
Yeah.
most spoiled little shits that ever
No.
came out of my mother.
Well met. Thank you. It's fine. I'm like 44. I don't need you to protect me from 13-year-olds that didn't hurt my feelings when they're
No, I
whispering
didn't.
about me.
No. They're the fucking worst.
They really are. They're so mean.
She looks around. If you see my dad, don't tell him I said fucking.
Okay. Is he also of, the fiery complexion?
Oh, no, the hair, that's comes from my mother.
Cool.
Inside check.
Okay. And the facial tattoos, whose side is that on? That's it. Oh, wait. I'm exhausted. Let me do it again. There it is. 5.
5, yeah, okay. You don't pick up on... Anyways,
Pick up on shit.
she kind of like points to the tattoos.
I like them.
Thanks. Thank you. I like yours.
Thanks.
I don't know. I got in a lot of trouble about it, but I wanted to. It was kind of like I was in the Iron Vaults practicing, and I wanted to be like my big sister Bovea, but it just it's this whole thing. I went out. We all had the idea of we were old enough. We were 15, so we all went out to go get tattoos. We were the third stripe. In other words, we were the third unit put out that year. So it's always people would get something usually designating what round of troops you are when you graduate from the Iron Vaults basic training kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, no, I know how that goes.
Anyways, I came home with it, and I don't care what they say. Those little shits were, going back and forth about whether or not, how I'd never be able to get married, never be able to, who would ever want me.
I
It's
mean,
not why.
if you don't want to marry a warrior, then that's your loss, I guess. But otherwise, you're good, man.
Yeah, you know what I call this? A shallow people detector.
Yeah.
So,
Do you see my tattoos? And Spinecrusher is covered in tattoos,
Damn, is
just
everyone
all
here?
over his arms and up his neck.
yeah. What do they mean anything? Or are they just like, you thought they looked cool?
I would also like to know that.
Some are decorative. Some are a stark reminder of my past. But none of them I regret.
Oh. What about you? Yours are glowing. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, they're not tattoos, but I got
What the? What? Hold on. Can I touch it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's so weird. Oh my god.
Yeah, they used to just be like regular freckles, but now they glow.
This is so cool. Oh my god. Can I get? Oh man, I wish I could get one like that. Yeah, I was. Anyways, I mean, I wanted to get one, and I thought Bovea would think it was cool, but she kind of was angry along with my dad about it. But you know what? To hell with it.
They sound dumb. You carve your own path. It sounds like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I know all about that. Want to be like your big sister. And honestly, it doesn't matter what you do. You're never gonna fill those boots. You just gotta find your own way.
Yeah. Trying to be stop trying to be Bovea and just be the best Beatrice I can be.
There you go. How many are there? Is it just the 7 of you? I don't...
There's a lot, I'll admit.
So, are you the one getting married, or?
There's 10 siblings, all in all. 1 boy, 9 girls. The 4 quadruplets, 2 of which are the identical ones you just had the displeasure of meeting.
Jesus.
Well, they started with a boy, and they wanted him to have a brother. And my mom and dad didn't stop until my mom, anyways, they had no choice, did they? They stopped with Anissa. So. Yeah, there's a lot of us.
Okay.
So which one of you is getting married?
Oh, yeah, that's Thero. You'll probably see her tomorrow. They're, getting her all pampered and prepped and I don't know, whatever else they do for people on their wedding day. I haven't ever been a bridesmaid, so.
Pharaoh?
Fiero.
Fiero.
So Feuro.
Sure.
And who is she marrying?
She's marrying, oh my god, some Fergandali princeling. Zavirbandin Ilbero.
That's horrible.
Well, not terrible to look at, but I don't know.
I like a wedding. I like the rituals, like the hand binding, the consuming the bloods of your enemies, the dancing, that kind of thing. They're a good time.
I've never been to a Flohelgen wedding, but I plan to go to one now. Oh my god, that sounds fun.
They are a lot of fun. What time does it kick off? Also, what year is it? Everyone thinks I'm joking. Seriously, what year is it?
$9.99.
Okay.
Yeah, well, until tomorrow night, and then,
Oh, everyone wants to get married on the millennia, right?
Right. Start of a...
Don't ask me. I don't know. It's some Fergandali tradition or whatever the hell. I don't know.
So it's a blessed marriage.
It's a number. Anyone can tell it's just stupid and arbitrary and doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's Daria.
Everything's dumb.
She's like Jock Daria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long way from home.
at this point, you hear a voice, another one. Well, not another one of the sisters. But you hear a man, broad-shouldered, come up. Beatrice, I think your father's looking for you. Sure, Shire. Thank you. Well, it really was, I mean, people have said well met before, but really rarely ever had it be this true. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. You do good. Good luck on your path.
She reaches out and does the, Wilhelmian handshake.
Ooh. Educated.
Yeah. All right.
Worldly.
So, you look, and the next figure you see is standing, kind of like leaning over one of the tankards, or barrels of ale. Well, not sure we've met, but you seem to be on good terms with her, then already on good terms with me.
Glad to hear it. Who are you?
Shaya Voltregarin.
I'm sorry, you're...
Shaya Voltregarin.
Oh my
Pleasure.
God. Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I've heard such nice things about you.
Hopefully not from Hargreet. That little halfling has got, a Goliath anger complex. Anyways, no offense.
Voltrigan, are you wed? I'm not coming on to you.
He starts blushing a bit. No, I'm not. I'm not even seeing anyone at the moment. Why?
I don't know, sometimes a wedding is a great place to find your fate. You never know.
No. I hadn't honestly been considering, but I suppose I am getting a bit older. Oh yeah, I got a picture of this bloke as well, because why not?
You gotta show us.
Yeah.
Who is this man, Ajaxa?
I'm gonna have to tell you later. It's gonna be weird if I say it in front of him.
Well,
He's a Tom Hardy motherfucker.
He is cut like marble.
Making me
and you're
question
cut
my
like granite,
asexuality.
Yep. So, I'm here to have cleared out the area back there. You look, don't take this the wrong way, but you look like you've survived a hurricane. Just a bit dry.
Thanks, we did survive, so thank you for noticing.
What I'm getting at is, if you need somewhere to sleep, to rest, we've got plenty of cots and pavilions and everything that people have been able to set up. Fortunately, some of the folks from Higurashil have either brought out their little contraption pop-up tents or other sorts of, arcane means to create sort of a room that's bigger on the inside than I don't quite understand
The
it.
Hikari's really are so cool, aren't they? I love them.
Yeah, personally, I mean, I grew up on the streets of Kanya, so it's a much bigger world out there on the outside than on the inside of those walls. I can tell you that.
I know how that goes. That's your kindness is much appreciated. We do need a place to rest.
If you'd like, I can lead you. Help you find a
Please.
spot. Sure, come on.
Yeah.
Oh wait, one more thing. He tops off his tankard. And there we go.
Smart.
Security. You have to do a tasting, make sure everything's all right for the next day. You don't. The
What if
last
it's-
thing you want is a bunch of party guests getting sick.
What if it's poisoned? Could be an assassination attempt. You're only looking out for the family.
We'll have to make sure that it's just, have to test a lot more of it to be sure, just in case.
Well, we're always
Gotta-
happy to help.
Throws you a wink, and then this way. Leads you off towards the pavilions. It's quite lovely. Mostly it looks like they've set up kind of impromptu, almost like a makeshift pergola kind of thing in places with long drooping bolts of fabric, white linen and everything that's string through, giving pleasant bit of shade. There's braziers with kind of, it looks like magically conjured flames that just keep the areas warm where it's a bit draftier. All in all, it's lovely. There's smells of, it seems like scallops wrapped in pork, and
God damn it, Matt.
yeah, just the between that and the coconuts that are being sliced and then the water poured over some of the shrimp that's there. It's just everything is absolutely delectable.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're sparing no expense whatsoever for the food, at least. Um, mm, yeah. Soon enough, he leads you to a place where there's a wooden platform, boards, laid out. Make a history check with advantage, or straight roll for you, Ash.
Thank you. 12 for me.
Okay. Yeah, with a 12, I'd say that's probably about enough, honestly. Looking
I got
around,
19. I was on mute. Sorry.
oh, then okay, all good. The 19, you definitely recognize it even better. Like Ash, I was gonna say, Draxa has a feeling that she's been here before. Spine Crusher, you recognize kind of like between the, again, like just like the horizon and like the bearings about the place. You recognize this spot as that the same place that cottage was, where the Dragonborn woman, the elderly Dragonborn, was.
Mm-hmm.
Here you find, it looks like there's a wooden platform that was approximately close to what the foundation was. And it seems like whatever it was might have been built upon the ruins of this. But in the meantime, here you are, where there is a kind of like a couple posts, hammocks strung up between them. Crates and chests and kind of all the accoutrements and necessities are laid out. It seems like a lot of the staff and crew are, taking their leave here. In some of the makeshift pop-up areas. Shire,
The boat doesn't look familiar.
what's that?
Does it? The boat doesn't look familiar to me, does it?
No,
No, not at all.
no.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. So you. Well, now I'm doing a history check personally as the DM. No.
Okay.
So Shire kind of, again, gestures broadly at the hammocks. Take your pick. Glad you to choose one.
You're very kind. Just take one off to a corner, right?
Cool.
When is the wedding exactly?
Well, the wedding will be tomorrow evening. Most likely, they will try to have it happening during at the exact moment of the midnight, the following midnight. It's going to be pointless, but they've decided, because of some Fergan Dolly dogma, or whatever, no offense, they think it's good luck, good fortune to be married at the coming of the new year and passing of the old, something about starting a new life together. And what better new life? It's been a maddening rush. All the brides and grooms, people getting married. I think even to people that are horrible for, just to be able to get married on this eve. Oof. Makes no sense.
No.
Spine Crusher already laid down in a hammock and fell asleep about a quarter of the way into
Yeah.
what the person was saying.
When's
He
the
heard
wedding?
it was tomorrow night, so
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Very good. There will be some festivities happening tonight. If your friend is in good condition for them, probably about just after supper time. There'll be 9 or 10 o'clock. A lot of the staff will be eating and partying a bit more afterwards. So hope to see you there.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you. We'll try again.
Likewise, pleasure.
This guy. Say, Spine Crusher, do you know who that was? Oh, you're already asleep. All right. Sarah, do you want to know who that was, or you want to be surprised when history unfolds?
No, you gotta tell me.
Okay. I go into my pack and I pull out, I got to root for a while because it's buried in a bunch of stuff because I don't take care of my magical things like I should. And I eventually find this magic wand, right? and I wave it haphazardly in Spy Crush's direction. I'm like, this is a magic wand made by one of the bravest witches I've ever known. Her name was Bevigda Voltragen, right? She died to
Okay.
save us when your land fell. Do you remember her? I think
Yeah.
you knew her for just a couple hours, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's her husband. She was a widow when we met her.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it might not be her husband. It might just be a guy with the same name. Like, there's another Stormhammer here, but that's not my husband. But related, right? I mean, probably. Anyway, I put the wand away. Also, I have not summoned a wyvern mimic in way too long. I should have done that this morning.
That would, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that
In
next
your
time.
defense, Brunin had it for a long time, so
He sure did. Just never used it. Never used it. Laying uselessly at the bottom of his backpack.
so. Is there anything else you guys want to do before taking a long rest?
I want to waste my last high level spell slot and hope we don't get ambushed in the middle of the night.
Fair enough.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so I take out. We got a lot of cool shit here, and I start setting stuff down. Right, we got the not Book of Mirror Shawl, which we're not touching. I just like hold the bag open and just like point at it.
Got it.
Right. I'm talking quietly, obviously, but I don't want
The
that
Book of Miracles.
Nice.
We got the book. You know what else we got here? We got this cool stick that gives off some magic I don't understand.
Okay. All right, I forgot about the stick. Okay.
Yeah. We got the chart map thing. I don't know how useful that's gonna be. I'll just put that back.
I do appreciate you stealing those now that I know that they would have been eternally lost to the ruins of time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got this mysterious liquid from there.
What does it taste like?
Sorry, can I sniff it? It's from that fountain we walked past.
Do you want me to cast legend lore on it with my mouth? Just give it
What?
here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you if it's magical or not. Just let me have a sip.
I don't know if it's cool.
It's odorless.
Just gonna. Do you mind? I'm just gonna.
Yeah, go for it.
How is it?
Tastes like water.
Yeah. Probably water. Alright,
I fake a seizure.
oh god. I'm not so wait a second.
Is water.
Yeah, Ash, I'll message you a thing so I understand one of the things about your thing. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, here.
Okay.
I got 27 of these fancy arrows. I can't really take. I mean, I can shoot a bow. Are you getting good with bows?
No, I refuse.
Yeah.
Like, why would I shy away from my enemies and fight them from a distance? That is cowardly.
There. And of course, I've got the. Well, you have the, you know, the lost songs.
I do. Thank you again.
And I got a bunch. I just grabbed 5 books that looked cool.
I think I'd like to read all 5 of those books before we call it a night. Wouldn't you? I'll take one, you take the other.
Yeah. All right.
And that's
I'll
all the time we have tonight, guys. Thank you.
We just lost a viewer. All right.
Oh yeah, of course we could try to legend lore the keystone.
Yeah. Why not, right? Do you want to? I mean, how long could it take?
Yeah. We should probably do that, right?
Let's do it.
Or first, do you wanna look at it under the true sight lantern and see if she like looks okay in there?
Oh yeah, okay, let's do it. All right. One of the pergolas, I kind of like yanked down the fabric just a little bit to give us some privacy. Like you can still see in, I guess, but we'll give ourselves another like foot or two of privacy, and I'll just kind of like hold the keystone furtively. Yeah, go ahead, shine it.
Yeah, like crank the opening just a little.
Yeah.
You look at the keystone, and again, you see that sort of wisp of cloud that moves, sort of like a goldfish with, or a lionfish with a elegant dress-like fins. Very similar to seeing silk flowing in water, but more like cloud or smoke, or like milk poured into tea, right? Sort of flows and blends and then dissolves and flows. And once in a while, you see something that looks like this staticky disruption in the light, and it stops to exist entirely.
Ooh.
Like and then back flowing exactly where it would have.
Oh, that's not good.
That is most definitely not good.
Like almost fading or weak.
Nope. Oh,
Sure.
God. Sarah, we broke a goddess.
We broke an aspect of the goddess.
That's not good.
No, that's really not good.
Also, she's
Make a
hurt.
religion check.
Yes, please. Good
Yep.
thing I'm exhausted.
Okay, it's good. I got a 23.
You go ahead.
23. With that, you know that. So yes, it is an aspect, meaning that even if you were to completely shatter this thing, the ray of the goddess still exists in some primordial, eternal sense, right? It takes far more to be able to destroy a divine. What you know is that it does, however, it would, however, sever her connection to, that specific object, so that it could never then be used again.
Bad.
So it is certainly endangered, and yeah, ideally you would like to be able to find some kind of way of being able to fix it.
See, if we'll
You think
trade...
this cool stick maybe magically fixes the ball?
Maybe. So what did Ebianda say? We need a mage? If
Sounded
Voltragon's
really
here, then maybe Perfecta's here too. Maybe this is where they meet or something. I don't know. But she's a mage. She's the best mage that ever existed.
How old is she supposed to be right now?
I don't know. When you knew her, she was like 1,000. So we'll just look for a really old lady. Wait. What year was it when we saw her? I don't know.
History check.
Thank you.
Disadvantage. You could always try and think about it in the morning or in the evening after night's sleep.
Why would I do that? When I could just keep rolling 11s.
Yeah. 1,000 sounds about right.
Yeah.
She'll probably be 1,000 years old.
Just
right? Wait,
look for an old lady.
you're trying to math when you're exhausted.
Although, she might also be the same age as that guy. If my theory's correct, then that might end up being her husband. Then we'll look for someone that age. Between that age and 1,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a child.
Probably not a child. Probably. All right. Should we sleep?
Or legend lore.
Oh, Legend Lore. Of course, let's do that instead.
Or Lorea.
Right. Okay. So, casting. So,
But I won't.
you what?
I want to do the cool stick, but I won't.
Give us
Okay.
the lore. Give
There's
it.
know, I
plenty of ways to find out what the cool stick does.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how you found out what the other cool stick you have does, right, in the
Mhm.
first place. So, now,
Just use it.
legend lore on the keystone. Okay.
And mark off some of that ridiculous amount of incense I bought.
I'm glad you bought a barrel of it.
I did. I was like, I don't know the next time we're gonna go shopping.
Man. Mike, you got any music that's like sort of mystical sounding and shit? Because I think this would
Sure.
probably be a good time to go to break, and then we'll come back to it.
Oh, Matt's got to think of it. No.
Yeah, I've got it. I just want to give everyone a chance to go potty.
All right. Thank you,
So-
everybody, for being here. We will be right back. We love that you're with us. See you in a minute.
Right.
That was like right around Mystery Men, wasn't it? Like that Ben Stiller, like the
think so,
like
yeah.
mid aughts. Hey everybody, we're back. Hey, thanks for
Hey.
sticking with us. If you ever had an awkward celebrity encounter, tell us about it in the chat. Mike hasn't.
Please. Oh God.
Oh my
Shall I
goodness.
tell it?
Please.
So
Yeah.
it was like, I don't know, maybe 2010, and I was in New York City with some friends, and we're there to see the MoMA exhibit, the Tim Burton MoMA exhibit. And we're in some room where we're all standing around a piece in the center of the room. And I look up and I see Ben Affleck standing in front of me next to like some model-looking blonde woman. And I turn to my friend Kelly and I just go, "Holy shit, it's Ben Affleck!" And I turn and I look back over, and he's just staring at me, just like shaking his head. And it's at that moment that I realized that it's Ben Stiller and not Ben Affleck.
Was the model looking blonde woman his wife?
His wife. I looked it
Yeah.
up later. It was his wife. Yeah, yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah.
I've never done anything like that.
Perfect.
That I'm going to talk
Perfect.
about on the stream.
So yeah, welcome back, everybody.
Yay! Let's go to a wedding.
All right. So, legend lore, Keystone.
Oh yeah, Mike, do you have music for us, please?
Oh, I forgot my one responsibility.
You also forgot who the hell Ben Stiller is.
Yeah.
Blue Pitch Gaming, what the hell? Give the DM advantage. Thank you.
I don't know how to go five.
Yeah. What's my saving throw for legend lore, by the way? Nothing.
No.
Doesn't matter. No, it's fine. I just tell it.
Just say it. You know you want us to know? You can bank that advantage for the next time you throw a dragon at us.
Yeah. The
Oh
smell
no,
of
they
incense.
expire at the end of the stream.
Okay. We'll work
No. Is this not quite? There we go. I know what I'm doing.
with it. All good. Yeah, we'll work with this. All right. So,
Ooh.
yeah, perfect.
This legend
Okay,
lore
so-
brought to you by Syrinscape.
Thank you, Syrinscape. So, deciding to finally turn your attention towards the Keystone, the magical artifact that's been probably the most consequential in terms of how it's shifted your lives and brought you guys together. And now, for the first time, actually giving it enough attention with the True Sight Lantern, and now that it's actually hurt. Larea, known by other names. Larea being a goddess of the weave, a goddess of space and time specifically. The weave being that manifold of particles and energy that's unique to this particular aspect, this plane, all this collection of planes in the multiverse. Larea is known as sort of the weaver. There's constellations named for her. And in this, Larea is seen as the one who stitched together the veil that separated the planes from one another, the veil that established the division between past, present, and future. So, when the divines wrote up the plan for how reality should be laid out, drafted, and everything, it was Larea's doing that, brought into being. Sorry, give me one moment. I think my headphones just checked out.
No, the music just abruptly stopped for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, cool then. Anyways, weird. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
what you know, gathering from the combination of the text that you had before, you know that when the decision came during the Ethereal War to create the Veil, that Larea wound through the universe at lightning speed around twixt every single particle that is, carrying behind her the thread that became the weave being the force that binds, that allows magic to exist, the weave being that fabric of power between the elements and planes that bards can manipulate with their songs, that wizards learn to be able to perceive and understand and control, that eldritch beings exist before and outside of, able to pass through like a mosquito through a soccer net. Something that allows magic and powers beyond understanding to exist. You know that Lurea is, well, an ancient, well, not even ancient, but because she exists outside of time, a being that is like any of the other divines, uh, not understood in terms of consciousness that you and Spinecrusher and Zera hold, uh, but in terms of being, well, a concept, a principle of that creates the universe boiled down into a personage, right? So she is in this keystone. It is one aspect of her, meaning that it's sort of a window through which she can, you can peer into her infinite manifold mind, and through which she is able to interact with the world. In the same sense as like a cleric, right, is able to, the cleric's body and mind and heart is able to tap into the incredible power of their chosen deity. This is not no mere talisman or amulet. This is not just some holy symbol, but a, well, I guess you could call it like a reliquary, but for a god. So it's more akin to say an ark. That being said, again, the consequences of it being damaged, well, it's more the integrity of the arc that would be harmed, the connection, the ability for it to sustain that connection as a vessel between this particular reality that the keystone exists in and the more abstract conceptual plane in which Lurea exists. And given that even in the future when magic ceases to exist, Lurea still did. Keystone still worked and allowed you to navigate back and forth, even in the far future when magic ceases to exist. Shows that she holds some powers even beyond the other divines, beyond the other, well, forces of magic and fire and light and heat and whatever other powers might exist. Hers is an entirely different facet of reality, perhaps even more foundational, more sublime. Hard to say. So, that's more or less what you get from Legend Lore, which, as far as the practical aspects of it, you know that the Keystone allows you to travel back and forth within time. When it is whole, there are a series of arcane symbols and everything embedded within the crystalline structure that encloses the central, well, component that is sort of like a chamber in which Lurea exists in all time and space, condensed into a single hollow, a vacuum, if you will. In the same way that Spinecrusher's armor shields him from magic, the shell of the keystone seals that vacuum-like chamber from being constrained to a single point in time. So, sort of like pictured as like the hull of the TARDIS, if you will. Pictured as something that works in a way of being able to shield this connection to Lurea from being impacted from any other, or like isolated to a single point in time. It's like a spacesuit for a single instance of a god's power, goddess's power. And in this case, the arcane symbols and everything would have allowed you to configure and interface and interact with it in a controlled manner to be able to, well, travel through time in a way that is a lot more deliberate. You could surmise that much from the fact that the devil that you saw holding it was able to, as soon as she held it, knew what she was doing, was able to wield it in a way to go directly to the future without spiking it. She just used it. So there is a way in which the keystone can be used, although it's beyond you to know it. in its current condition, however, well, it's sort of like maybe a Rubik's Cube with a broken mechanism inside or something. It needs some TLC. Right.
Does Zara share all of that with me?
Yeah, with all of you, presumably. I mean, I'm not Zara, so she can.
No, I share that.
All right.
Cool.
And is there any other question you have concerning it that's more specific that I could try to answer?
Yes.
With a question?
Oh, do you have a question?
Ask it what its favorite food is.
What a lovely mug, Matt. So we had a book that explained the war ethereal, and it said that sorry, there was an isolated goddess that rained steel tears, and I think it was the bookstore owner that told us that that might have been the origin of the keystone. Although I don't remember exactly. It was a long time ago. So would there be anything within its history about like that being true?
As far as its as far as its specific origin, yes and no. So you know that the war ethereal entailed the death of at least one goddess, right? That goddess that rained down steel and everything. You know that she was by and large forgotten. Bless you. You know that with that, it kicked off a much more violent turn in the war ethereal. You know that there were severe actions taken on both sides, and it also led directly to the decision to divide up reality into multiple planes, multiple dimensions, if you will. With that came the Lorraine's involvement, direct involvement, more or less appointed to carry out the task of forming the weave, of carving out the barriers between planes, between all these different existences and realities that were and could be. And in the process of navigating through time and everything, that dying goddess existed within the very same substrate of time that Lorraine was working through. And in sort of you could picture it poetically maybe as Lorraine taking pity and reaching out hands to this dying goddess in that moment that lived on forever. Or perhaps it was the goddess lashing out how she could have existed within all time and did nothing to try to save her. And then capturing an aspect of Lorraine in these spheres. There are some things that are lost in history that can't be known. Even with legend lore, there are things where the minds and experiences of consciousnesses that so far surpass the understanding of mortal minds, it could never really be comprehended, or even if so, it would be ineffable. Could not possibly convey what that feeling was. You get only this sort of sensation of two goddesses in recognition of one another, connection, of reaching out, either in pain or in empathy. That's what you get from that understanding of the origin of the keystone in that moment that forged this cage or vehicle, depending on how you try to perceive it. Or both, in a way.
Okay, so one follow-up question before I give it back to Zara. Just for clarity, the word you used was spheres?
I'm not saying that Lorraine is the only god or goddess constrained within within that fallen goddess's.
Matt's like, I'm not saying I said that. I'm not saying I didn't not say that or not said that.
I'm on I feel like I'm on a Senate.
Yeah.
DM, if you could just answer the question, please. Is there more than one keystone?
Yes.
I remind you that you are under oath. If
Yes.
you're a cop, you have to tell me. Wait, what? There is? There's more than one?
Yes. Again, this
this
is a
is this
specific
like
singular
is it
aspect of it. No,
is it
no,
timey
not timey
wimey
wimey.
shit? Okay, it's not just
There are more than one in multiple ways. There's more than one in because you've brought two from different times that are the same keystone together, the same instance of the same keystone.
uh-huh.
You also remember seeing one being guarded by the Red Scourge in a completely different mountain.
Oh yeah.
So there are multiple windows into the same backyard, you could say.
So we just need to find the Red Scourge. No
That's
problem.
one way about it.
I think she'd be thrilled to see us. Sorry,
Am
Zara.
I-
Your turn.
Zara conveys all of that in this bewildering sort of fever dream, big fucking poetry. And
It's like Charlie from Always Sunny.
just listen, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Hey, Sylvia. Yeah.
I guess my last question was between the legend lore and watching the demon operate the keystone. Do I have any more idea of how to correctly operate this other than slam it into the ground? Like I'm not asking for the owner.
Yes.
Like-
Your first step would be fix it.
Okay. You
Yeah.
said it's moderately. It kind of works, but it's definitely broken. But like, maybe-
It's let's say it's a laptop with a busted ass monitor. It can be fixed, and the data is still there. Sure.
What if I just make the window really small and move it down to the bottom right corner where, like, that bottom
No. I'm saying that screen ain't even lighting up. It's just like it's where you got like the
the black light, can I
crystal.
put the phone flashlight up really close to it and see,
We need
You
to
gotta
hook it
do
up
it.
to a second
Try.
rock.
All right, we just gotta find an HDMI cord and plug that into some
a-
random like hotel TV, and then we can use it. Like, it's fine.
Here's the thing. In this game, you guys don't know what the hell the equivalent to that HDMI cable would be. So yeah, that's why you need a mage. You need
used, right?
We need
Yeah,
some
you need
twine and a
to-
piece of glass. Is what we need.
Maybe some glue,
Yeah. Some
The way it
parchment.
was described, like this whatever is encasing her is what allows her to function. I'm worried this crack might be letting something in or out. I don't know.
I
like
don't know.
lowering man. I don't even know if it's like just air, because if it's air, you're like, oh, we could just put it in a jar. But like,
It's probably
yeah,
not just air.
With legend lore, you know that it's not air.
yeah,
Time, specifically the singular nature of moments that happens.
It's-
Whereas within the keystone, all time exists all at once within Lorea's mind and consciousness. But then once it is broken open, that forces the singularity of the temporal singularity to escape in, then severing the connection to all points in time within that sphere, within that contained bubble, that cage or vehicle, as I said. So, yeah.
We're leaking time fluid everywhere.
No, you have it sealed for now.
You.
There's a crack, and it's certainly not safe or able to be operated at this point.
Yeah. Definitely no smash of the keystone.
No, not now. Although I do see now why Brunin, worshipped her. She sounds great. Powerful. I feel extra bad about smashing her into the ground all those times. Should we get some
Now
rest?
we take our long rest. Yes,
Yeah.
please. Oh my god. I would like to be unconscious, please.
Same. All right, we're going down for the count in our little nap hammocks.
Fine Crusher's muttering about the croissants that he had earlier in his sleep.
The croissants.
Flaky buttery.
Yeah.
I
You're
know.
woken up
God
by a
damn.
much more delicious smell.
Okay, that's fine.
Go on. What
Yeah.
were you going to ask?
No, what I said was God damn it, because I said we're taking a long rest, and you said we're woken up. I was like, no,
No.
no, we're
No.
not.
After a solid 8 hours.
Yay!
Hey, that's the magic word.
Yay.
A solid 8 hours or so, during which no one's daring to disturb what seems like a grizzly bear. Oh wait, no, that's just his snoring. Oh my god. Yeah. They let you sleep it in because you look like shit, all of you. I wake up, and there's a sound of almost like a festivity, going on. It sounds jovial. It sounds happy. It sounds like there's something coming from that light over towards the beach where you were before. Um, there it is. Looks like everyone's having a good time. And oh my god, what are they cooking? Because that needs to be in your stomach right now. Holy shit!
Okay. I think all my broken ribs are healed. This is gonna be a great day. Just need a nap and a snack.
All right,
We're ready.
go.
Hop out of our hammocks.
Okay.
Follow our noses.
Head towards the beach. Presumably having used we'll say for the flavor of it, like using the time included in that long rest of waking up and then, finding a rain barrel and then freshening yourself up and all that, washing off.
Definitely preparing Revivify.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you already had, I'm sure, because I trust you with my
I
life.
always have a healing spell prepared because I am a good cleric.
Yeah. Doing your homework in the middle, right before the bell. All right.
That's fine.
Okay. Xander, are you coming? Yep. A minute. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you prepared?
You head out to the beach, where there is a sound of, kind of like,
What was that?
Yeah, you hear some of the crew is laughing at some lewd jokes. Thank you, Syrinscape.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
It's just, yep.
Sorry, that was
Great. That was great.
Okay. So you see, there's a good, fairly decent crowd here tonight. Lots and lots of people. Different sorts, all kind of mingling together.
Wait, tonight, did we sleep through the rest of the day and wake up in the evening, or is this the following
Yeah, it's
day?
evening. No, it's evening. That
Okay.
same day. So the wedding, as far as you know, is tomorrow evening.
And you let us have a long rest because you're nice. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is you went to bed probably around 1 PM. We'll
Okay,
say,
great, perfect.
very generously. Yeah. Okay, so you, in the meantime, you look around and there's, staff. There's a couple of the figures you remember from earlier in the day. Those red-headed twins who are, all made up and everything, hair tied up and just trying to, and laughing at each other's jokes.
And do we still wander in with like our dirty
No. At this point, you've
armor on, and
we'll say that you've cleaned up. Presumably, you're still
Okay.
in armor and everything. But
Yeah.
there's other people in the staff and all that are, likewise.
I would also have relayed what I told Zara about Voltragon, and I'll give him I'll give you the in-character version, like cast an exposition over who Bevegda Voltragon was. But does Mike want me to do that as well?
later.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'll do
you see,
Yeah.
kind of like sitting nearby. There's an orcish fellow, looks to be Farragandali, wearing robes. Spinecrusher, you would recognize this as the clothes of the robes of a Krishtaki priest. 1 second as I add this picture into the Discord. Okay,
Oh, I want to see.
there you go.
Oh, he's foxy though. Oh, I wanted to hate him, but he's foxy.
It's kind of looking at everything. Hello. Walks up. Hello. Oh,
Hello.
it's very good to see another member of the Brotherhood. Which order do you belong to?
Which order did I belong to? I'm not even gonna fake it. What? I don't know.
You never told me, Mike. I was hoping you had this.
I was hit in the head
Oh,
about 6 months back.
well, that's how dreadful. I'm quite sorry
was
to hear that.
Discharged, but unfortunately I don't have much of a memory.
Oh. Well, let's pray to our Lord that you have it returned to you. Sorry, I do not mean to forego introductions. I am Chancellor Dodrikin.
How nice for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there something wrong?
Nope, just distracted. Whatever.
Oh, good. Well, Flo Helgate, I'm assuming.
Whatever
me,
give you that impression.
Oh, I have the preference for festooning your skin with markings, for one. Also, the bones. You look actually. There's another one. Looks fitting image of you just nearby. I don't have to find her. See if you are acquainted. Not to say that you, that you all know one another. Or that I've received such things myself.
No, we get it all the time. She sounds gorgeous for what it's worth. So.
She is quite fetching. But I just digress. In the company of Half-Blood, well met, all of you.
Sure.
Forgive me if I've in any way caused offense. Forgive me.
Krushtak.
Oh, yes. Well, Krushtak can, pats you on the shoulder and imparts a blessing. Okay.
What do you look at when he said half-blood?
You.
Oh, great. Okay, I figured.
Yeah. Well, are you here for the bride or groom?
Yep. Yeah, we are. Definitely.
Yes.
You are too, I bet.
Yes.
Mutual acquaintances of the two parties. How quaint.
What are the odds?
Yes.
What are they?
That's so bizarre. I mean, the circumstances allowing for such a lovely coincidence. I thought it was an arranged marriage, but I could be wrong.
Position of our party.
Yep.
How fortuitous that both members have friends in common. Common. Yes. Well, I'm. Oh, forgive me. I see an old friend.
Sure.
I must have.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Pleasure.
Spinecrusher, do you have to do that here? Really?
We need to fit in.
Do we?
We need to make this. I don't give a two shits about Krushtak. Okay? You betrayed me.
Just makes
But
me
we need to
feel
fit
bad.
in.
All right. Fine.
Play the part, Adraxa.
Fine. For fuck's sake. All right, so we're looking for a 1,000-year-old lady. Somewhere between 1,000 and we want to say 12.
Yeah.
Just look for a mage, very wise. She probably walks hunched over with a stick.
Or we could just ask someone hey, is Bavigda here yet?
Yeah. Or look for a Tarask. She has a pet Tarask who was very small when we met him, but he might be very big. So if you hear a thundering, then hello.
So, DM player question: are you guys all armed still?
I think I would have. That's my question. I think I would have changed into something nicer.
Okay. Did you leave your weapons back at where you were resting?
I specifically thought that 5 minutes ago, and I think I probably would have because I went to a wedding. Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't have left my wedding, and then someone was like, "You can't be in here with that," or my wedding, my weapon.
Okay. You still have your weapon on you?
Yeah, I'm wearing my dress clothes, but I have an axe on my back.
Okay. And Zara?
I mean, I have a tail blade, and that's about it. So
Oh no, I know what's about to happen. Oh no, fuck me. Well, I can't leave it lying around, can I? I can't let it be lost to the ages. Nice.
So, a orcish woman appears behind you, grabs you by the shoulder, and pushes you, one-armed, against one of the posts that's holding up this tent, Adraxa.
Well met. I know you. You're one of mine. Do you want to fight me for the honor? We can.
She reaches back,
same
pulls out the same exact axe.
Yes!
Explain yourself!
Grandma!
She confused as hell. Grandmother.
We're kin.
Grandmother.
Okay, that was probably not the right choice of words, but
My son is 12.
okay, I see the problem. I have an explanation. It is a long story, but it is an honor to meet you. My name is Adrax of Stormhammers. We are clan. Oh man.
We should probably call it soon anyhow, because there's about past 2.
No problem.
Sorry,
we can finish.
Karen Kane.
You're good.
We should
Sorry, I had a root canal today. For anyone wondering,
God.
yeah, not fun.
Do you want me to roll initiative and go ahead and wipe out my whole lineage, or? Because that's what happened last time I met an ancient
Kind of looks
relative.
at you. She snarling, looking back and forth at the axe, and then you, and then her axe, and then you, and the axe, and the axe, and then. And then you soon enough you hear, Vixola. These are This is the person I was telling you about. Why does she have the same? And then you see Gravender Harriset comes and puts a hand on her shoulders. I suggest that we maybe calm down. After all, we're at the place where it's cause for celebration. Why don't you instead become friends over the course of the evening and get to know each other?
No.
And with that, she kind of immediately, well met.
Oh, well met.
You should know it's rude to call someone a grandmother if you haven't been properly introduced. It's very rude to assume someone's age, for one, and also to get it wrong.
That was rude of me. I apologize. I just meant to say auntie. Yeah.
Some catching up to do then.
Please.
How did you... This is... strange. She's still perplexed and confused by the axe and not sure she understands it.
All right.
I think... You're here tomorrow, too.
It is a long story. Maybe we can catch up over drinks.
Maybe we can catch up over sparring in the morning.
Yeah,
Dawn.
please. Dawn. Yes. Yes.
Yes!
You are my people. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
And she claps you on the shoulder in the back, and you're just growling and everything. And there's actually like a faint blue staticky charge as the axes come a little closer to each other.
That's so cool.
You probably have so
Doesn't-
much to teach me. Oh, this is great.
It's straight up going to be like our backgrounds.
It is.
So, with that, Gravendor Harriset kind of says, if I could pull you aside. Just a moment. She gives you. Big Soul, I'll see you in a moment. I'm glad that you're finding, yourself a little calmer. She goes, yeah, don't worry, I'll see you tomorrow. And
At dawn.
kind of walks off. At dawn.
Constant vigilance.
And leader are you from?
Obviously the second. The third doesn't exist.
Constant vigilance. I like that.
Yeah. Keep it.
She walks away and everything. And then you just see her grab someone else's tankard. Hey, I was good. Okay. What's that?
How many stable time loops we making tonight?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, you,
Really stable.
yeah, Harriset kind of, pats you on the back and, leans into whisper. I had to cast a spell on her to keep her from fighting you. You understand I had to do that.
Yeah,
right?
no, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's not permanent, is it? Did you make her permanently stupid?
No, but I'm going to go make sure she has enough drinks between now and the spell we're wearing off that she either will kill everyone around her or she's going to pass out. So you'll excuse me, I have to take care of this.
I
You
owe
have
one.
to drink at the table in an hour.
Trust me, I know.
Okay, no, I'm just clarifying, not saying you couldn't do it.
I'm not saying that it's going to be easy to drink a half orc under the table in an hour.
Very high constitution.
Godspeed.
I'll rise to the challenge. He walks off. Soon enough, you see You see another one of perception check actually.
Please. I would love a non-exhaustive perception check. Thank you.
25.
18.
Yeah, girl. 12.
Wow. With the 25, Zara, you see kind of, sitting underneath one of the tables, a young girl, about 11. She's kind of like looking around at all the guests. Red hair. Same. Second.
But a little left.
Kind of like locks eyes with you for a moment. And she takes a napkin, or she takes like two forks and puts them on in her ears to make it look like horns, and then like a little napkin, she twirls it around.
Oh, that's funny. I'll kind of use my tail to grab like another napkin and kind of like wave it at her. I'll go over. And, is she under is she under a table?
Yeah, she's under one of the tables, like kind of like there's a white tablecloth and everything that goes under a little bit. She's just like, yeah. She reaches out a hand and touches your horns.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm under the impression there's a lot of my people around here. Am I the first tiefling you've ever met?
A tiefling?
Tiefling, yeah.
Tiefling.
Or an ascendant, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what you're...
No. I like them.
Thanks.
What's it? Is it fun having a tail?
It's a lot of fun having a tail.
Can you do any tricks with it?
Yeah, I've got... Well, first you can trip people with it, which is really funny.
Oh my god. Can you trip my two sisters that look just like each other? They're Thesenia and Cathene.
Yeah,
Oh my god, can you?
Please.
But
Spine Crusher's standing right next to you. Can you please?
Yeah, let me just...
She hears a larger voice and everything, and then just hides.
No. Don't worry, girl. I'm safe.
Persuasion check.
I'm good.
Disadvantage.
I back away and like.
Actually, no. Intimidation check.
Oh no.
What?
A straight intimidation check to see if you fail.
Oh
no.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Calm down. Do you want candy? Here, little girl, take some candy. It's fine.
Well, it's 7 plus 7.
So
Oh,
14.
plus
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you. And she just kind of like goes away.
Damn it.
Shit.
You're good with kids, huh?
Wouldn't say that exactly. But you should still trip them.
Oh, 100% yes.
Alright, I'm gonna bring my tail around and take off the knife I have on
Good.
it.
Thank God for that. Okay.
Call that out first. Jesus Christ, putting that bad boy away. We're not here to murder children, we're just here to laugh at them when they fall.
We have our second wedding assassination on this channel.
Yeah.
You soon enough hear, she's here. And then you see Beatrix, the one that you had the one with the facial tattoos that you'd seen earlier, kind of like running through, pushing past some of the Farragandali guests and their, flowing silks, kind of like running towards the edge of the tent, where a woman wearing this kind of like leather armor with a multi-piece pauldron on one side, a short red cape, close-cropped red hair appears. One second. And you see her just smile. She raises Beatrix, and she holds out her arms, scoops her up. I missed you so much. How was your trip? There were bandits. They set up ambush in the middle of Cracked Skull Pass. There were bandits. She goes, "Oh my god, you have to tell me everything." Goes, "Come on." And they, she drags her sister off excitedly. Yeah, it's a pleasant enough time. You can see that some of the band is beginning to play some music that is getting people to start to dance a bit. It's maybe a bit more formal and hoity-toity and everything than you would prefer. You feel like, they let all the propriety get in the way of having a good time. That's just maybe nobility in general. You'd think they'd be able to hire better musicians, or musicians that knew how to liven up a crowd. But no.
Wink, wink.
Yeah. No, you're good. Wasn't kind of calling you out, Mike. Soon enough, there's a ching, 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 ching. One of the glasses and everything. You see a man, looks to be probably early 60s, late 50s, pig, wearing a kind of fur-trimmed robe and elaborate-looking piece of headgear. Very fine, fancy hat. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for coming all this way. I understand that it's quite a long journey for most of you, and honestly, I think that we've found ourselves in really the place that any one of us here would agree is probably the most beautiful place for a wedding, and a fortuitous time for a wedding. What an occasion! It's just like clap. Yes. I am so grateful for my daughter. I feel her to be honored, really, to be betrothed tomorrow eve to the prince, and it is my hope that that this is not going to be a sign of, we often talk about cross-border. I've heard people use the phrase weddings and everything. Look, should not be so. We should stop looking at marriages as being between people based on the country that they hail from, the nations that they call home, and start looking at it as just two people falling in love.
Insight check.
Yeah, make an insight check. Or perception would probably be better.
I already rolled it. I rolled a 4
I'll do
either way.
either. It's
Alright.
does it matter, or it's the same for me. Whatever.
Alright, so yeah, low rolls in, not really. You're like, oh, that's pretty nice of him to say.
I rolled
Yeah, I hope that the Ilberas have found themselves equally pleased with the match, and I look forward to the place of honor that my daughter will bring, the happiness she will bring to your son. And you see, there's a pair of elderly-looking Fergandali wearing, feathered, billowy silk hats, and the woman is wearing a almost like sapphire and silver-colored dress, and with a single clasp at the shoulder. Stately, smiles, nods. But I must say, it's looking after my daughters that has brought me to the conclusion that there's so much care they need. I fear more than anything that since my Theophilania passed, I fear that I haven't been up to the task of devoting my full attention to them. My daughters, I love you, and I want only the best for you, and that includes having for you, Theo, a husband who loves you for you. I've decided to abdicate the title of Duke to my brother, Elzio. There's a gasp and a bit of commotion going on. The Fergandali looked elegant and refined and everything. The parents of the groom look
Oh,
a
I
bit
see what's happening.
miffed. And make sure that I have enough time to devote to my daughters as a father. Raise them up as a single father, not to neglect their needs and throw them to tutors and caretakers that will distance themselves from me. I want to make sure that I spend time with them to bring them up right. I want you to know that you're marrying Vera for love. I still have a dowry that will be yours. But as far as titles to the dukedom of the Higurashi Plainlands, I am sorry, but the Westfold is now belonging to my brother, Elzio. She has no heirs, sired no sons nor daughters. On his passing, we've discussed it, and the council will appoint a new ruler of the Westfold. The wedding is tomorrow. Truly, I look forward to promises being made, the vows of love and devotion. All marriages should be founded upon love. Plain and simple as that. And I'm grateful that our families will become one. Viraband, and I hope that you'll come to see me as a kind, caring father-in-law. There's silence amidst the crowd.
They came
Then,
all this way.
Vixola of Stormhammers laughs. And then you see her and Harriset. What do we miss? At this, Fiora, you see the bride looks absolutely aghast. Yeah. Let me drop her in the chat so that way you have more of these sisters. Because I decided to throw like 9 effing sisters at you guys.
Does the bride look like she's the oldest of the 9?
No. You can ask someone. Why not? Or make a history check because they were trying to. Well, no, Spinecrusher would have known.
Mm-hmm.
You see, at this point, you do see. We'll say that there's kind of a. Vixola kind of like says, "They stop playing the music, Eric. I want to dance." And then with that, the band, all right, a 1 and a 2 and a. And they start playing again. The silence kind of passes and everything, and there's just a livid stare that is long going, being equally met by, Sibin Tawny, the patriarch of the family, former duke. So, there's definitely good tension here between Higurshil and Fergandal, at least between these two families that's playing out. So, with that, yeah, sorry, go ahead. You're going to say something.
Can I just ask, like, someone who's nearby us, like, why would he not leave it to his eldest?
Oh, well, Kior, the eldest son, would be next in line for the throne. Well, not throne because it's just a dukedom. But the man's a rogue and disgrace ever since he was born. He's been a troublemaker, and because of that, that's why they tried for another son, and tried for another son, and tried for another son, and then had 4 girls. And they were like, it's obviously the next one's got to be it, right? And then they just gave up. Actually, not really gave up so much.
So why wouldn't he leave it to the next eldest that wasn't a fuck up?
Well, Bevigda is, she's been studying at Higurashil, and honestly, she's got her sights set on higher prices than the dukedom.
Sure. Of course she does. I see her over there, right? No, where is she? Where is she exactly? I just saw her.
1 second. At that point, you hear a slap that is just loud as hell. Looking across the room, you see Boltregrin is holding his hand, and just beside, you see, he's like, there she is. That one there. with a good right hook. You see, and it's not going to look quite like this picture, but so this is more or less how I picture her. But she's looking livid.
Okay, we did not come for the old crone years. Okay. Okay.
And
Thank
she
you,
just,
of course.
he kind of has his head bowed, and like, you see him nodding, and she storms off. So,
I feel like it'll work
yeah,
out.
that's fair. What's that?
I feel like it'll work out.
Do you like what's going to work out?
The wedding. You know,
The only thing she's working out is getting the blood rushing through her hands. Good lord! Did you see that? I felt that.
she's feisty.
Hey. Yeah. Well, no one could say she isn't strong-willed, but you know, do you think there's she's honestly a bit of a catch, if you ask me. Yeah, don't tell her I said that, or she'll come after me next. My point is, she's
That's half the fun.
She. Oh, are you going to, make a pass?
No, I don't do that. I just appreciate anyone who would.
Yeah. She's a prodigy, really got a bright future ahead of her. But I mean, like I said, the whole thing is that she doesn't. She has no intention of slowing down, not for anyone. Bright future, bright head on her too. I think she takes a bit more after her father than her mother. So one thing sets her a bit apart. All those other gingers in there, and well.
Well. Black sheep, eh? You expect big things.
So to say. At this, you see the twins walking up. Oh my gosh, Liebe Vega, that was so trashy. I know. What's
Say
that?
it.
Or a church level.
Now's your chance.
All right. As they're okay. Sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand.
I'm gonna give myself guidance. So I probably fucking
Nice.
need it. Oh, fuck.
You know, I will. No, and because of rule cool, baby, you got advantage on this because for one thing,
Really cool.
they're so engrossed in themselves that the rest of the world around them doesn't matter. So you have advantage on this plus your guidance.
Go ahead and roll advantage on your
It's
assault
worse.
on children.
It's worse. It's even worse. It's I might be able to make it to a 10 if I'm lucky.
Hmm.
I got an 8. It's not good.
Not good.
Oh no. We didn't think about the consequences.
They stop
do.
immediately. Speaking of trash, do you mind picking yours up?
I'm
They
sorry, fine. I'm gonna play stupid. I'm gonna be like,
Oh,
what?
I
You
hate these
kind of-
girls so much.
One of them gestures down. You left something lying on the floor. Why don't you pick it up?
Oh, she's so damn.
Yeah.
I like the floor.
Pick it up.
Vine Crusher goes over and picks up Zara's tail, but picks it up so
What?
fast. Yeah, picking up your tail. I pick it up so fast that if I can, that
Okay.
I accidentally like smack one of the girls in the face with it. Not like
Nope.
I'm not trying to like
He said it.
break skin here. I'm just trying it's accidental. And I'm gonna play it off as accidental.
Oh God, I don't. It's horrible.
Make a
Matt.
performance check. Make a performance check.
I think we should call it here.
Well, what
I got
was
a
it?
2.
You try to pick up the tail and then to slap them in the face with it, but Zara like kind of pulls her tail out, and you end up just
Oh,
like you end up slapping a 13-year-old in the face,
no.
and that is where we'll call it. Oh God.
Oh, did it? So much worse.
To be clear, for everyone watching on the stream,
I'm sorry, I was just trying to get the tail out of the way.
It's attached to me. I can move it.
I know, I wanted to slap the girls in the face.
And that's where we're gonna end it. All right, good night, everybody.
Oh God, I missed this so much.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you being here very, very much. It's always fun to have you guys in the chat. Please join us on Saturday when we'll be back at 8:30 Eastern for Artema.
Yep.
Oh.
In the meantime, you guys try not to hit any kids. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bars low. Bars low.
All right, we're out.